Suddenly we have hair care on a skincare channel. Well, maybe. Hair care is skincare. Well, I'm sure there will be useful advice in this video, which is exactly in that wavelength. So if you have hair, or better saying, if you want to keep it, stay tuned. Hello skincare people, today also hair care people. The Age Traveler here, Custodio, saying hello, thank you for being there, thank you for connecting with the channel. So with a different theme today, we're going to talk and debate if hair care is synonymous to skincare, which from start, I tell you, I think it is. So I'm not a hair care specialist. This is very consumer level information with a bit of insight in some good ingredients, some good practices. I think there is an overload of information about skincare, hair care, all tangled in one, but very few videos I've seen really precise what is that hair wanted before marketing got in the way. So let's go for it. And my take in hair care is that, of course, your hair lives from your scalp, on your scalp, so everything which happens at the scalp level, it's what really determines the long life, the quality of your hair. So for me, when I say that hair care is skincare, the same way anything which you apply to the hair length, so something you apply not to the scalp, but to the length of the hair is not hair care, it's hair makeup. It can change the texture, it can't change the luminosity, the way it reflects the light, it's beautifying, it's silkening, it's detangling, but it's not, in the true sense, hair care, because it's not changing anything for the way your hair lives. I go after two ideas for hair care. First one, it's scalp blood flow. This is the number one thing you need to have healthy hair and to have a strong hair to keep your hair. Don't forget the loss of hair, seasonal changes, mood, hormonal. There are periods where we will lose more hair, but we know what's thinning hair when we see in the mirror that for men, mostly in the front and the side temples, for women, normally more the crown, more up the head. You see thinning, you see less hair density, and for that, blood flow is the number one objective. If you stimulate on a regular basis that blood flow, there is a physical stimulation just from the act of massaging the scalp. I mean, there is nothing more bliss in spas than the Ayurvedic Indian hot scalp massages with those oils which activate, and they come even to a point your head is boiling, and afterwards that boiling goes to a minty cold effect, and you really leave the spa feeling much lighter. So the beauty of everything which stimulates the blood flow is that it will bring oxygen, nutrients, iron, hemoglobin, everything your hair needs. So other than blood flow, hydration and pH are very important for scalp. Scalp is skin, and it's a skin with a different pH, is more alkaline. The level of sebum is much higher, and the scalp, the skin, it's much thicker. So you also have a somewhat different biome. You have different species of bacteria. So those biomes, when you talk about skincare, hair care, you should think about the same. Therefore, that's why that activation of the scalp, it's also very positive, because if you have less deposits, if you activate more your roots, you will have less likely buildup of oxidized sebum, which will then harbor yeasts, which are typical in the scalp. So all the flakiness, dandruff, all those are associations between buildup of dead cell sebum and those opportunistic yeasts, bad bacteria, which will grow and create a more inflammatory state. So some good words of advice: consider washing your hair more like washing your scalp than the length of the hair. So shampoo should be mostly on your scalp. When you rinse it off, it will cleanse down the length of hair. But don't rub the hair length if you have a longer hair. The same way, conditioner, it's more for the length than from the scalp. And above all, you should have nourishing elements that you leave on your scalp. And this is exactly what I believe most people are missing. That's what I've been been doing for most of my life. Since I remember, I've been using every morning some sort of tonic, friction, ampule, so stimulating products, which at the same time work beautifully as lightly styling products. I mean, for a short hair like mine. Of course, if you have a longer hair or if you have a more wild hair that you need to tame, you will need some more styling products which will help you out to have a more good looking hair. But if you have a short hair, a lot of those treatment leave-on products, they have some conditioning effect, and therefore I have never used waxes, pomades, gels, and none of those products which not necessarily are the best friends for your hair long term. Okay, so let's get practical. What are the products? User level, I'm not endorsing any sort of advanced technology that I have researched enough. I have never really researched that much more than the things I've been here talking about, which most of them are a bit common knowledge and common sense. In any person who works in skincare will have a certain understand about the hair. So my loved ones, I would say that the Rolls Royce probably, it's the Adenogen line from Shiseido. So I'm starting a bit from the most higher end. So you have this shampoo, which is probably my favorite shampoo in the whole world. It's more a shampoo which I think also the packaging geared towards men, but there is nothing inside which is specific men, specific women. Both the shampoo and the serum lotion are based on ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You have, of course, caffeine, which is a key ingredient for all this scalp activation, because caffeine will activate the blood flow and facilitate the absorption of the nutrients. You also have some antibacterial actions. You have like a more of a health microbiome effect on the scalp as well. This is one of the most beautiful products. I mean, you have this metallic mirror bottle, which is really beautiful. I mean, I'm not being shallow. That's not why I use it. I think it's a very good formulation. It really works wonders if you have tired hair. Don't be put off because of the high alcohol content. All these hair lotions and tonics, they always have a high concentration of alcohol, because when it comes to crossing the waxy, sebum, fatty layers on your scalp, you need a bit that degreasing. I've mentioned before, you have a video here about alcohol in skincare. I'm not super optimistic about alcohol like in toners, essences as the first, second ingredient, because for skin I think there are better ways to go. When it comes to scalp, alcohol is needed, is understood for penetration, to solubilize actually the caffeine as well. It's a perfect combo. That alcohol and that caffeine will really activate, so don't get scared because of the alcohol. Another duo I use on a regular basis, maybe even longer than the Shiseido Adenogen, it's René Furterer. I don't know if it's available out of Europe, but it's a French, more hair salons, hair spa type of brand. You have Triphasic, which is this very famous shampoo with these white spheres which contain, I'm even dripping water, I literally snapped it out of my shower. You have these little spheres which contain orange essential oil, rosemary essential oil, you have mint essential oil. You've seen in the channel, if you follow the channel, I'm not the biggest fan of essential oils when it comes to skincare. Literally, I think they are highly irritative, and this is exactly what I believe this product is doing. Just that for scalp, maybe a little irritation will benefit that heat, that activation, benefits the end goal of activating the blood flow. But actually these are the only two products. The Fortisea serum lotion, it's an alternative to adenosine. I already mentioned, so from Shiseido, I already mentioned I always like to alternate the products. I don't think you should use always the same products. So I alternate shampoos. I don't wash 3 times in a row with the same shampoo. I alternate them because the tensioactives, it's always better to balance. One will be slightly more nourishing, another one will be a bit more clarifying. drying, so a little bit more active and exfoliating. By the way, I don't like grains exfoliators for hair. Many brands propose that. I don't like mechanical exfoliation for face. Also a video here about it. So I also don't like it for scalp. I don't promote it because your fingers with the right product can do that activation. So when talking about activation, we come to one of the last products. I also use the companion product from Rene Futterer, which is here, the Complex Sunk, which is their first and best seller in the world. Now I'm doing one of their competitors, which is Phytopollen, but they are basically very identical. So these are pure heating botanical oils, which you massage before washing, and you leave it for 1 hour, 2 hours. You literally feel your scalp burning, and then you wash it off with water. And the benefit of that is that if you then use a shampoo and a lotion, which is very nourishing and oxygenating, activating, you really have this hair workout, which is what I believe in skincare for hair care. So I said I have 5, 6. The number 6, it's the Ordinary, the multi-peptide serum for hair. I think this is probably, from all of these products, it's the most solid science-based type of formula. This is really a very interesting complex with multi-peptides. Also caffeine as number 2, number 3 ingredient. So it's the common denominator for all these products. So it's eventually your best friend for scalp health. In terms of food for hair health, what do you need? I mean, biotin, vitamin H, it's a cofactor for a lot of functions which will end up being beneficial for your hair. Deficiency of biotin, it's rare because also our gut can produce some of our vitamin H. Nevertheless, foods which are abundant in biotin, they are very easy, very accessible. It goes from eggs, which is like the biotin bomb in nature. Full eggs, because if you eat only the eggs white, actually they have an anti-factor which reduces the absorption of vitamin H, go figure, and avocados, almonds, so it's very easy to take it in. Think about amino acids. Actually, also in these serums, in these formulas, you will also have a lot of amino acids. So lysine, cysteine are actually the 2 most important ones, which then with catalyzers, zinc, oligo elements in your food, they will contribute more and more because keratin, which is the material hairs are made of, it needs all these cofactors to be produced. So I hope this was useful. I hope also the message was conveyed that when something works for you, for God's sake, stick to it. I just gave you the example. Some of these products, I use them for 20 years. Of course, I try others so I don't get bored, but I think this is a message which should be more and more available in social media. I think social media has at large, I mean, not 2 weeks ago, I was sending the dogs after some of these skin influencer type of advice. The video is here in case it's the first time you are in the channel, and that video, it's with that message that we really should not just follow people because they are fun, they are nice. Of course we should follow them as entertainment, but not necessarily to take always advice. And one of the business models behind this is that most of the influencer content, that's what the algorithms are favoring, are about novelties. Because when you talk about novelties, everything makes the channel grow because there is a search about novelties. Well, my content tries to be much more from universal ideas, not from particular and exceptional ideas, but the laws of biology, understanding skin as an entity. The hero is not the product, as I say often, the hero is the skin. When it comes to hair care, I think exactly the same thing. The roots are the hero, not the hair is the hero. So let's together with some refreshing points of view, challenging obvious things and growing wiser and happier in life. Say no together. By the way, do you have more than 6 products? Before we say no to boring skincare, do you have more than 6 products as I have? So just confess in the description, in the comments below, just please confess how many hair care products you have, and out of the hair care products you have, how many are scalp leave-on treatments? I will be curious. Let's say no to boring hair care. Ciao! So, mostly for skincare, not so much for hair care. Please consider liking, subscribing, activating the bell, and just feel good about life.